All right. Grand Rising, greetings, good day to you all. You are tuned into the Peak Wellness Hour. Today's topic is we're talking about what women wish men knew. I put a spin on it based off the topic that ChatGPT helped us choose, and wanted to throw in talking about effective communication in relationships. Because, as you all know, for the month of June, we're celebrating um, men. We're celebrating good and decent men out there. Let's be specific. Last month, for the month of May, we celebrated women. So we're going to do the same with all due respect for men. So today's topic is to create an opportunity for honest, respectful conversation about communication, emotional connection, expectations, and understanding between men and women. The goal is not to criticize either gender, but to build strong relationships through empathy and awareness. Many relationship conflicts do not happen because people don't care about each other. They happen because men and women oftentimes communicate, process emotions, and experience needs differently. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I want you all to hit the like button, hit the share, please. And we are going to have a discussion in just a second. I am hoping that King Sean is about to join us. So stay tuned and we're going to jump right into it. All right, welcome to the Peak Wellness Hour. I might switch positions here. I'm in the sun. I've been waiting for the summer all year long since last summer. So I'm out here trying to soak up this vitamin D. So if I move around, we'll see how it works because the sun is being weird. A few announcements before we begin. You are tuned into the Peak Wellness Hour. I'm going to have Queen Edith bring us in like only she can, but I want to let you all know some important things. A few important things. It's a busy month. June is a busy, busy month. Let's start with what do we start with? Okay, we can do Father's Day just because we're celebrating men. Okay, we can do Father's Day, and not just because our men are important. That's the topic of discussion, but we'll do that first. But June 20th, y'all mark your calendars. Mark your calendars. It is the Queen Pastor Lady Edith's birthday coming up. So we've got that going on. So you all keep that in mind. I don't know. She's been a busy woman. We have not talked this week. I don't even know if she's going to be here next week, y'all. She is like Carmen Sandiego, like my queen Aunt Gloria Carter. They are like Carmen Sandiego. You never know where these queens are going to be. I can't keep up with them. I cannot keep up. So I don't know. I know she's going to get off of here soon and take care of some business and be on the go, go, go. So we might see her next week. And I don't know. But right now, wish her well, wish her blessings and safe travels as she moves around and as we approach her birthday, for sure, for sure. So that's the 20th. We got Father's Day. We've got My anniversary on the 23rd. So we've got some cool things
Wow.
on. So I
Yes.
get to celebrate my
Lots,
king.
lots going on.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm very excited. So just a whole lot of celebrating that we get to do. And I couldn't do it with anybody else here on this platform than this queen. So queen, birthday queen, because we're gonna celebrate all month long for your special day. Yes, this is your day. And we have Juneteenth. Can't forget about Juneteenth. We talk about all
Friday
the
is
other holidays.
Juneteenth.
We have Juneteenth coming up. So don't want to forget about that. So whole lot of things going on in June. If you all are in Indy, it's busy. It's busy. I was downtown.
Is it? You need
It,
to pull me in and drag me in and
I
say,
don't know, Queen. We were downtown last night. Quick spare of the moment thing. I'm like I said, we're celebrating all month. June is a busy one. I get to celebrate this queen, get to celebrate my king. So we were down. If you all have not seen Marcus D. Wiley, have you seen him? He's a comedian, Queen.
no.
I'm gonna send you a link. I'll put the link in the chat. You all have got to check out Marcus D. Wiley. I know you like him. He's a Christian comedian, but he has clean jokes. We went down there. It was hilarious, but it took us twice as long to get down there because of a traffic. So it's very busy in Indy. I don't know where you all are listening from, but it's busy in Indy. So wherever you all go, be safe. Like I said, Queen is traveling. Yes, happy birthday, Grand Rising, Queen Kathy B with the United Empires of Akiva Line, Grand Rising. Yeah, so just be safe. But yeah, you all check out Marcus D. Wiley. I will put it in the comment section. He is a clean comedian. He's hilarious, and he has a lot of jokes about marriage and the reality of marriage and being a man and all that stuff, dealing with women. So he's very comical. So you all check him out. That's where we were last night, just celebrating our month for our anniversary. We've made it some years, 19 years. It's 19 years. And so that's, we're going to have the conversation about what women wish men knew. And when we talk about this conversation, again, we're focusing on supporting and empowering men, right?
Right.
It's not about really what we need. We're going to talk about how we can communicate. Let's be honest about what men need. Are we giving men what they need? Are we part of the problem as far as what's going on with men? All these conversations, but it's going to be uplifting and hopefully powerful. So I don't know, Quinn, I don't know if you want to drop the link in the chat if anybody wants to come up and have that discussion. I do know, I'll say this, we chose this conversation on the spur of the moment because there were a lot of different awesome conversations to have regarding the month celebrating men. And we want to get some good, decent men on the platform. I don't want to speak for a man. I don't want to. I can assume and presume, but I have certain conversations I think are more appropriate to have strong men in the conversation. And we can speculate, but if we're trying to empower, as a woman, our opinions only matter so far to the reality of the situation of being a man, and that goes both ways, right? So, uh,
Right.
stay in our lane with that, and that's why we've chosen this conversation to kind of keep it light, so and just kind of think and strategize on how we can unify, even in friendships with co-ed friendships, how we can be more respectful, how we can see one another differently, and how we can honor and support and respect men and love on our men. So that's what we're gonna do. So Queen, I will stop talking finally.
Hi, 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 everyone. This is a great week. You know what? Because somebody was born this week. By this time, my mother was feeling like this naughty girl is getting ready to come out. But yeah, it's a great week because we also get to celebrate fathers. We get to celebrate every father and every male mentor out there. Someone might ask, okay, so we are celebrating men. Why are we talking about that? Why are we talking about what women knew, wished men knew or could communicate? A lot of the time, men have felt frustrated. I don't understand her. I really don't understand her. We don't understand women. Let me share a joke with you. I heard this Nigerian pastor, okay, and he was preaching about, I don't know what he was preaching about, but I do remember this real what that said. He doesn't know why men try to understand women. Okay. And he said this. He said, look at women. God gave them lashes, they add their own. God gave them nails, they add their own. God gave them lips and everything. They choose the color they want. What do you call it? We our lashes. When a woman is wearing high heels, she has some flat somewhere in the car or in her purse. When she's carrying food somewhere. Women always have a plan B. So if you're a man and you're married to a woman, please don't try to understand her. Just appreciate that she doesn't have a plan B after you. She's chosen you. That's a joke. And I hope it's a good joke. But the reality is this: men complain and say that as much as we want to give our best to our women, and we are, a lot of men are giving their best to their women, they don't understand us. The goal is not to flip it and make it a woman's thing. So if you're thinking that, please take it out of your mind. If you're a man watching and you want to come give us a little insight about men's ways of thinking about these situations, you're welcome. Please let us know. We'll give you the link because we are lacking male voices on this platform. We need male voices, and I think we need to do more to find some men. King Sean, we miss you. And today and this month of fall, we wish you could be here even for 10 minutes to be with us. But the goal is to also give you a little insight and help you understand a little so you can always be the amazing man you've continued to be even when you don't understand us, because sometimes, honestly speaking, we do not understand ourselves. Okay, we know what we want, but sometimes we can't articulate it in ways. So we're going to try to the best of our ability and shout out to the female prophet. I have a female prophet in my life. Today is a wedding day. Prophetess Susie, she speaks into my life. She gives me insight and God's mind, and she's been a major blessing to me and my life ministry family. So today is a wedding day. This thing is dying. Could you excuse me?
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry, you all. We're having a great time. I'm sitting here to turn my darn camera off because I'm trying to read with this glare on the screen. So just bear with us, you all.
So, Queen and Prophetess Susie, have an amazing wedding. I'm rooting for you. I said a word of prayer for you and your husband this morning. I can't wait to see all the pictures and the smile on your faces. Congratulations on your wedding day. Right, right, right. What do
That's
women?
nice. Congratulations. That's nice.
Yes, prophetess.
Yes.
Yes, I have a picture someone sent me. Still, I don't know if no, I'm not gonna share it because I don't have a permission to say share wedding pictures yet. So, but the truth is that communication can build a relationship, strengthen it, heal it, or the lack of it can completely destroy it. One of the things that has come up in my work as a therapist is that women feel a lot of the time it sounds like our thinking is our feeling and men think. Okay, I read a text message from a woman to her husband, and I don't remember all the details and I don't intend to share the details, but this it sounded something like, in this season of my life I feel like a shell of myself. And because of that, I do not know how to relate to you. I'm struggling to even have real deep intimacy with you. And I'm just asking that you give me time, okay? And the man responded and said, are you saying you are no more attracted to me? And And because of that, you need time away from me. So this text message came to me, and I said, she's saying how she is feeling, which has nothing to do with anything you are doing. She's trying to express that she's in a position where she's not comfortable in her own skin. And because she's not comfortable in her own skin, she's struggling to open up to you in a way that will be satisfactory and satisfying for you. So she's asking to please understand her and give her a little time. She did not in any way say, you did this, and because of what you did, I am this. Everything, she is the subject. So your better response was, oh, could have been, oh, I am sorry that you're feeling that way. Is there anything I can help? Okay, if you need a little time, I'm more than happy to give you a little time. But in the meanwhile, what do we do to stay connected? Because I feel disconnected from you. I feel that you are nowhere. Like we are not connected, and I feel lost in this marriage because I need to be able to hold you. I need to be able to touch you to feel that connection because my love language is touch, okay, and quality time. But right now, as the wife, I'm uncomfortable with my body. So I don't want to share it with you. It has nothing to do with you. It's just me and how I feel. And the man says, you are good. You're the most beautiful woman I've seen. Well, it's all true. And you are right, and she's right. None of you is wrong. But you are not meeting. You are saying two different things. You are not meeting. Do you understand this?
Absolutely.
And so that is can be a problem in communication. So how do we bridge such a gap? A lot of the time when one person says something, the other takes it personal.
Hmm.
Right? So, Queen, this is how I feel. And you feel like you are thinking, I'm feeling, and the man is what? Thinking, because somebody also said that when God created the woman, he took 90% of the man's feelings and put it in the woman. And so the woman feels and the man thinks. So the two are not meeting. They can meet, they can meet, but we have to learn to hear, to listen, to hear. And that's one of the things that is missing. We are everything we are hearing, even when I say I am feeling, becomes like a personal attack. Queen.
You know, I think a lot of times we have to when when we have this stereotypical mindset as humans, where we don't think that men feel, there's something wrong with that. And we're not saying that on this platform at all, but people think like that. People think that men have no emotions, no feelings, no sense of nurturing or compassion.
Mm-mm,
They have to be these strong, burly men.
mm-mm.
But on the same token, people, this is stereotypical perspective where women don't think. Women are so emotional and so dramatic and so
You
high.
see, that is very interesting that you bring, but that's not the point, though.
Hmm.
Practically, when you listen, women think, but
Hmm.
men are more logical in
Right.
their thinking. So if it's just feeling, because you hear a person, I've heard even in relationships of um parents and children, when it comes to fathers and daughters and sons, and you see, we are created a certain way. When the Bible says the man is the head of the house, The thinking part of the human is generally in the head.
Mhm.
Okay. So when the Bible says the man is the head of the house, it goes to say that the man is given the ability to be logic, to look at things from a very logical perspective in the family. Women think. Women are smart. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm
Welcome,
excited. I'm
King.
excited. I'm
Yes.
excited, King.
You all, King Sean's working, so we begged him in the backdrop to join us. He said next Saturday, but we begged him for just a few minutes of his time. Yes, no,
So
and I'm agreeing with you, Queen. I was not disagreeing with you. I was sharing, that's how a lot of times it's perceived, and it does cause a communication breakdown. But I'm gonna stop talking because I want to hear what the King has to say before he has to jump off because he's always working. He's always on call while he's doing things in the community, helping the community as well down in Atlanta. Welcome, King Sean A. White.
I like your beard. It's all whiting out. Is that deliberate? Is it natural? What is it?
It's called wisdom, ladies. Wisdom,
All
wisdom, wisdom.
right,
I
all
love it.
right, all
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
all right.
I
First
love
and
it.
foremost, first and foremost, before I dive into this, I want to say major props for you, ladies. I've been following you now. It's a little bit over a year, and I done posted this. I done told many people, and I may be biased by saying this, but I believe this is an award-winning podcast because the topics that you ladies cover, is very informative, very interesting to say the least. And I just think that we need more content like this on social media because what it does, it challenges a person's thinking, but more so you give individuals the tools, men or women, right, really to become greater versions of themselves. So I just want to put that out there in the space, and it's just been a joy and a privilege to be working alongside you ladies. So I just want to get that out the way. Now
Thank
to put my perspective on the topic in which that you have, because we men and women are so different, right? It's something that you said, and I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. Women are more emotional and men are more logic. Is that correct? More logical?
Generally speaking, and I feel like that's the reason why there's a huge communication barrier in especially marital situations, because a lot of the time Queen is married, I've been married before, and a lot of the time when I've gone out to say something to my man, or I say, this is how I feel, this is how I feel, that's how we go. Not that I don't think. We can discuss it. I think that, but most of the time we come with our feeling. Okay.
Right.
And men
Right.
are looking at our feeling logically. Well, and therefore the feeling is not validated. And sometimes the women are thinking, I'm telling you how I feel, and you're trying to make me feel like I'm wrong. I
Mhm.
can't be wrong in my feeling. And so there's this little gap there. So that's where I'm coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would have to agree with you on that, Professor Edith, from hypnotherapy. I'm sorry, hypnotherapy. That makes sense. From a hypnotherapist practitioner standpoint, and just by being a male, period, that is, I find it to be true in my own life as well. That us men are more logical because that's the way that we've been taught, right? We've been taught as far as to not lead with our emotions per se, but lead with logic, right? Does it make sense to us during that moment? And I think at times, and I'm guilty of it as well, right? I'm still learning and developing in my relationship, right? In my relationships, that I'm learning, and I'm guessing with time and wisdom, everything which I've learned is that sometimes when women are coming to you, right, and they're coming to you on this, particular perspective or what their viewpoint is, right? They, even though they may be coming to you from an emotional standpoint, but for us, we still have to listen and acknowledge that because there still be a lot of wisdom in that. It's a reason why that women are built and wired for that, right? And to be emotional and in business and in life, that's very beneficial, right? That can be very, very beneficial, right? Because I'm an individual that I'm so logical that I have a tendency to take on a lot, right? And not really let my emotions show. But then on the flip side, that once I'm at a certain point, right, when the emotions does come out, it may not come out the way that I intended to be because I suppress it so much because I learned from a logical standpoint. So, how does a person, and this is like that age old question. So, how can men and women coexist? Simple: compromise and listening to each other.
Oh,
You have to listen to each other. I didn't get that until I started getting older because when you're younger, you know how it is, especially for most of us guys, we think we know everything and don't know jack. Let's just call a spade, right? But when you're in a committed relationship or in relationships, period, just the business, personal, whatever have you, both you have to listen, right? That's very, very important. And even true listening is more so of hearing the person, especially if they're at a high emotion, and for us to break it down and to acknowledge it, but still use the logical aspect, right? What is this person truly trying to say? It could be something simple as, look, man, it's hot. I'm ready to go. It would drive me crazy. You know, my boss is there, and that. And you have to let her or him, right? Either or, you have to let that person get it out and don't interrupt them. Why? Because it's something that's pressing and important to them. So for you, you have to sit back and while you're listening to that, you're acknowledging of what they're saying by not just being like, uh-huh, and what else? Yeah, right. No, you have to like I'm gonna give you a very quick example. Edith, Angelina, just talk about something, anything. I don't care. I'm gonna give you guys an exercise of what I mean. Just talk about anything, anything. I don't care what it is. Go.
The weather is so nice out here. I'm so excited about summertime. Can't wait to get active and see what's going on this summer, be more involved, spend time with friends and family. Queen Edith's birthday is coming up, so I'm super excited about that as well. Let me keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah, for sure. You know what? This summer, man, you know what? I hear you on that one because we've been getting a lot of rain. I know we've been talking about the cold and everything, right? So just to be able just to have fun this summer, right? Go out, spend more time. You know, Professor Eda's birthday is coming up, so I'm super excited about that. But what do you plan on? What do you want to do this summer though? I'm just curious.
I'd really like to get some travel time in, um, to more healthier activities where I can focus more on self. Like I said, with the summer coming and vitamin D, just taking care of my body, just enjoying life, appreciating life a little more.
So Rome, Canada, like what are we talking about? What are we talking about going?
I'm thinking more locally, maybe right now. I
Okay.
think because of finances, I can see a lot more different places that I've not seen here in the United States before I make a big trip, somewhere to Canada or, Mexico or whatnot.
Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm talking about. Sound like a plan to me. Professor Edith, go.
I want you to go, and I want to do something opposite that she did. So you tell me something, and I'll
Okay,
do it.
gotcha. You know what? Man, like, okay, I'm gonna flip this. Man, at work, man, it's just been crazy, man. I mean, it's just been so much work and trying to do that and balance with being an entrepreneur. And, you know, it's hot right now. And it's like I'm being pulled like a million and one different spots. And it's like, holy, man, like, Jesus, sheesh. Like, like, it's not enough hours in a day. Like, oh, man, like, I just be asking myself, like, Lord, is this worth it? This is worth it, seriously.
But Ken, you take on so much. You've taken so much. I keep telling you that this is a bit too much. You want to do this. You want to do this. You want to please everybody. I don't know, and you don't even have time for us in this house. You really don't.
You
You keep
know,
going and going and going, and you don't have time for us in this house.
yeah, you know what? And my apologies to that. It's just been so much, and I've been trying to balance, and because of the gifts and talents in which that He has given me, and I just feel like I'm built for this. Right? And the mind is always willing, but it's feeling like the body's like, hey, you better slow down, young man. And I'm like, no, you don't tell me what to do. I'm gonna keep on going because I got this huge calling and I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's like I want to do a great job and excel at everything that I put my hands on, right? Because I've been called to do this. But I'm realizing, like, you know what? I can't be everything to everybody. So I just been like, and then you know how it is too, where people they try to overstep your boundaries, and you got to put them back in a place professionally and respectfully, of course. But then it's like sometimes like, and maybe you probably know what I'm talking about, right? Sometimes you just gotta bring the hood out and let people know, like, look, I ain't the one. This is not what you want, and you're not going to talk to me like that whatsoever. So there's a certain level of boundary, and it gets frustrating at times. And you got to remind people the same thing in which you had to tell them before on a continuous basis. Isn't that annoying, either?
Ken, I know, it's really annoying, and I really appreciate that you have all these things you're going. I'm thankful to God for the call on your life, but don't you think that even the God who put the calling on your life wants you to apply some wisdom because you're opening so many doors, you're doing so much, you're not taking care of yourself, and your family is suffering. You know what I mean? So I feel like I appreciate it, but now we need to, let's put it this, as your woman, we need to sit down and plan better so you will have balance in your life. But I'm sorry that you're going through all the things you're going through at work. And if there's anything I can do to help, I probably would. I will try to.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have two examples on how effective communication can work inside the household. If you notice, it was two times where the individual they were speaking from an emotional standpoint. The logic set into play, but if you notice, there was a meeting where it was like, you know what, man, that makes sense. When and this is where experience comes into play. This is when this is why having the right partner is so important, right? Because you two will be able to understand one another. You'll be able to know where each other is coming from. And as far as when to give them time to speak. And they will likewise as well. Even if they may be more impulsive than you, but by the effective communication, both of you guys is listening first and foremost, and then responding in a manner to keep the conversation going such as you acknowledge that person, right? And it's going back and forth. It's just like a dance, folks. You notice how I was dancing with the two queens here? But now we have an understanding. I feel more calm, more at ease, and now we can work together to solve whatever manner or work on something even greater. Like with Queen G, for an example, she's super excited, right? She loves the summertime, right? She just like super excited about the possibility.
Hold on, y'all. Stay tuned. Hold on.
Whilst you're waiting for him to come back, I did something in my communication with him. And what I did was, as much as I acknowledged what he was dealing with, I was also trying to solve this problem. Okay. And that is what a lot of us do. It's either we are listening and hearing, we are trying to solve the problem, we are making it about us, or we are saying, he says his work is hard, and at work to me too, this. We make it about us. Okay. One of the things that a couple could do is like when he said, work and boundaries, I could go back and say, and this is what we call reflective listening. I could go back and say, hey, Ken, if I'm hearing you right, this is what you are trying to say to me. Please correct me if I'm wrong. This is what I heard. Am I right? Okay, now you are practicing what we call reflective listening. What Queen G will realize is that she will feel heard. She will feel like I'm intentionally trying to understand it. I will stop talking because King doesn't have much time, so we'll let him.
Okay. I'm sorry. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? This laptop is so rude and disrespectful. It had the audacity to update while we were, giving out knowledge. How dare you? But anywho, they don't stop the
We
show.
can see you fully. There.
Okay.
Okay, go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can
Yes.
hear you, but
All
we
right.
want to see you fully. Go back a little bit.
Let's see. Let's do. Okay.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm working on this phone here. But in any rate, as I was mentioning, so it's more so of the communication, right? And really hearing the other person out. That's very, very key. I know a lot of times we have a tendency, especially if we're emotional, right, to really just be able to speak, right? We don't necessarily want a person to listen, especially if it's like a very heated moment. It's really just an ongoing thing. It is a balance. It's an ongoing thing. You're not going to get it overnight. If you're married or just got married, oh, hold on to the ride because I was married once. So hold on to the ride is the reason why they call it a honeymoon phase for a reason. But over the course of time, it's just a balance of just getting to know each other and just really understand each other. That's what it really boils down to. And that's in business, that's in life, that's period. Effective communication is so, so important. Very important.
It is. And
Hmm.
I put something up earlier. Emotions, the difference between emotions and your feelings. We all have the right to feel what we want to feel. So a lot of times we do have to check our emotions though. And when we're communicating, sometimes when our emotions are not appropriate, right? Our tone is not appropriate. It makes that communication so much more difficult. And you notice it's when those heightened tones or manifested attitudes come about, it's usually when there's a conversation that is less than pleasant. And so how do you we can't avoid necessary conversations because of somebody's emotions. It doesn't help and it doesn't heal anything. So we have to a lot of times we have to be correct in how we come, especially us as women. My king is so logical. I can get all extra and he'll be like, just tone it down, just calm down. Why you getting loud? I'm like, I'm not getting loud. This is just how I talk and I'm passionate. Well, you call it passion, I call it passionate, you call it aggressive, somebody else calls it angry, somebody else, you know. So we have to check those things, when we're wanting to convey a message effectively, it's not just the words. It certainly is how it is said. And when we're saying certain things, maybe it's true, as right as rain, but the delivery interrupts the effectiveness of it. So we have to be mindful with that. That's just emotional. Well, we see that. Still not appropriate because you verbalize it. Let's check that thing and come correct so that we can come out of this thing effectively. I know personally for me, there was a time ago where if I felt like I had a point of view to make and I didn't feel like, somebody was as passionate as it about I was, you don't understand, well, babe, don't you get it? Aren't you excited? It's like, yeah, I'm excited. Okay. Well, you're not excited like me. I don't have to be excited like you. Why aren't you excited? And it's draining sometimes when we get like that with one another, when somebody just wants to say, hey, yeah, I'm rooting for you and this is what I got for you. It's what it is. Babe, what do you need? How can I help? Well, you don't understand me. Well, I don't understand because you keep telling me I don't understand and you're not explaining things. So we have to be fair about that. And that's why I said earlier, when it comes to men being logical, a lot of men, decent men, don't want to argue back and forth to where there's nobody decent and good wants to argue back and forth where there's no resolution. So just keep that in mind. If you're arguing, there needs to be a point made. Nobody's right or wrong. There's a point that you're trying to get to, and as long as you're getting there together, everything's all right. Anything outside of that is all wrong. So that's the goal, is to get through it together, and make sure that it's balanced when you get there and you
I
haven't
have a
drove
question.
wrong. Go ahead, please.
How would that apply if you are with someone that's very egotistical or almost more so at a, I don't want, well, I guess I can say being a narcissist or someone that's very dominating,
Mhm.
and it doesn't matter as far as on what you say, like they're right all the time and they want to be right. And this is for both men and women.
Mhm.
How, like, I guess my question is, how would that work with the further communication from someone that is like that? And
It
either
would.
one of you queens can address that. Either one of you.
It wouldn't. It
I,
wouldn't.
I would like to say this, Queen.
Mhm.
We need to look at what are the elements of a healthy communication. And we don't teach that, we don't talk a lot about this. Communication is two-way.
Mhm.
You speak, I hear, I interpret it in the way that you are trying to convey to me. Okay. And this is where I say we must, right from the beginning of relationships, we must learn what reflexive listening is. Okay. Queen G is excited about summer. She's excited about Edith's birthday coming up. She is telling.
I got you.
We good?
Go ahead.
She's telling me about it. While she's telling me about what she is thinking about summer, in my head, I'm thinking about my own summer, like I said. So, whilst the king asked her, okay, so what do you mean by you want to have a good summer? Are you traveling? So he is focused on her and what she's saying. He's not flipping it. Oh, this summer I am also going to do this, that. That is not communication. Everybody is talking, nobody is listening, and nobody feels heard. Okay, so it is in, if you don't understand what she or he is saying, if I'm hearing you right, no matter how emotional, excited, passionate they come. Okay, could you just hold on a bit? I'm trying to understand you. This is what you were saying. Am I right? Right now, you've had the capacity to at least a little bit calm her down. She appreciates the fact that he's trying to understand what I am saying. Okay, so that is one. So that is not only for therapists to do, it's for you and I to make sure we are on the same page. Because one of the greatest weapons of distraction of marriages and confusion is nobody feels heard. There is something fulfilling about knowing that she hears me, she appreciates me, she understands me. That's one element of communication. Okay, when I don't want to go to the Bible, but when God wanted to stop some people from building the tower all the way to heaven, he confused their language. You and I are all speaking English, but I promise you, from my culture, from my background, what I mean, using the same words, is not the way Queen G understands it. We are Americans. I may be saying something. What she means is not the way I'm understanding it. So the key is, what am I hearing him say? What am I hearing her say? Let's get clarity. Let's not listen to talk, but listen to hear. That's number one. It calms everybody down. It makes everybody feel appreciated and accepted. That's point number one. How many of us are doing this in our relationships? And it's not only in romantic relationships, even in business. Okay, even from employer to employee, even at employee level. Okay, from employees, it cuts across mother to daughter, son to mother, all of that. It cuts across. If we can take the time and not make the communication about us. The other thing is sometimes we don't need a thing solved.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Queen is going through a problem. I am listening. As soon as she tells me I have a solution, do you know it all? You don't even know, you won't even wait for me to finish speaking. All you're thinking is, how do I solve it for? It can be annoying. Sometimes you're not looking for solution. We want to be heard. It's not only women. Men need to be heard too.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we want to make sure that we are hearing our spouse and not jumping to fixing it as if and a lot of men feel like, well, if my wife comes to me with a problem, let me help her solve it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there's something about the desires of the heart that when it's not met, it can create frustration as much as you mean well. And men are our logical thinkers, so it doesn't really matter whether you're coming with them if feelings, emotions they want to solve. It doesn't mean men don't have emotions. When the men come to us feeling and hurting and in pain, can we acknowledge that and respect that and honor that and pacify that, whatever it is we need to do, rather than also telling them why they're wrong, why they're doing too much, while they are not focusing on this. And no. So, hearing, listening to hear and appreciate. Now, another thing is validating what the person is feeling, whether it's the woman feeling, whether it's the man feeling. Validate what they are thinking, even if you think you know better and they're wrong. Validation, we are not validating each other. That's why I recommend the book, The Lost Art of Listening. Okay, validate each other's feelings. Feelings are not debatable. My perspective could be wrong, but the fact that you are right doesn't mean I'm wrong. There can be two different perspectives, four different perspectives to a situation. When I pick up this and bring it to your face, you're seeing a blank space. Does it mean you're wrong? Because I am not seeing a blank space. This part is different. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides to this book alone. But you see only one side. So the fact that your perspective is different from mine doesn't make us wrong.
Right.
Doesn't make the other person wrong. So these are the ways we need to look at situations, circumstances. And Queen, you said something that will come correct. In when we end up in long-term relationships, we must grow. We must grow in our level of maturity, even emotional maturity. We must grow, we must get to know each other. Okay, there has to come to a point when you come to your husband, ha 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 ha. He will listen and not even think you're being disrespectful. I'm not hearing. He will listen and know this is my wife. Let me just give her a moment to go through this emotional season right now,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll get to the conversation. So when relationships have been long and healthy, and we are learning these things, we get to know each other. So things that used to be a problem should not be. And with time, we all must grow in our level of maturity. The emotions don't go away, but we learn how to communicate. And our spouses have learned how to get clarity from us. If we are doing that, I promise you that we will all settle and be okay. Queen, I don't know if that answered your question, but
Yeah, it did totally. And man, you said a lot of great wisdom on that. But I think ultimately, the takeaway I got from that is that you have to be growing. Both of you have to be growing together. And that's why personal development too is very, very important because think about this. If both people are truly investing in personal development, right, in professional development, right, they're learning, they're growing, they find out more about each other. I think that when it comes down to communicating, it's a lot better because both you guys are doing the work, as opposed to if one person's doing the work and the other person is still where they're at and they're not trying to grow and they still have those type of patterns or thoughts or different ways of going about it. And yeah, I mean, you made some great points. And there was something else too I was thinking about um, when you said, and this is very, very true because you may be going through a situation, the other person may be going through a situation, and they just want to have the other person just listen, not necessarily be like, oh, well, I hear what you're saying, but see, you're looking at it wrong this way, you're looking at that wrong that way. Everyone wants to be, and this is one of the things I've learned. Whew, man, I learned this over the years as being a coach and all the other stuff that I've done. With human beings, period, people want to feel like they're being heard. Not all the time that you have to give them the answer because, especially
mm,
depending upon what they're going through, they may not want an answer, but they feel comfortable enough to even have the conversation with you. And that in itself is huge because how many people you know that will hold it inside? They won't tell not a soul because they don't trust no one. And then something happens and you hear them on the 6 o'clock or 10 o'clock news. How many people in the world is like that, right? Too many to count. So when you just sit back and you're just listening, right, and not necessarily, and this is where discernment comes in as well, right? You have to discern and be like, okay, is it time for me to speak or just time for me to listen? Because there's going to be a time where they're going to ask me for my input or what I think about it, but if they have to get this out, right, whether they're extremely happy about something or they're extremely sad or they're just going through something that's so pressing and they got to get it out, finding out that balance, and that's where the growth comes in. That's where getting to learn an individual. That's where that comes into play. And sometimes we as people we miss the mark, and sometimes we're able to hit it. But that's where the growth comes into play. So yeah, the lost art of listening. I recommend for everyone that's on this live and on a replay to go ahead and get that. I'm definitely going to be getting that as well
yeah,
because you're always growing, right? We're always learning, right? We never can get to a point where we feel that we got it, right? Because if that's the case, then you don't need to be alive tomorrow, then, or you don't need to be alive in the next 5 minutes. But that's just my personal opinion. I don't know how people gonna feel about that, but as a human being, we should always be growing, always be evolving, always be learning. And yeah, I'm very curious about that book. Actually, I'm gonna get it as well, and I know I'm gonna get some great value out of that because I'm gonna create some content around that as well. So, but these are great points. Does anybody have any comments, ladies? Any questions they may have? Babe,
I don't know
that's
if
fun.
Queen has something, but I'd like to add that we should stop competing to talk.
Mm,
Okay, competing to talk and show that we all have knowledge. Okay, so she said, and I said, everybody's competing. Like, especially when you're a couple and you're with a group of friends, and the wife says something and the spouse says something, and it looks like you're going against each other. Yet you have to always remember that as a couple, and we're talking about couples in this situation, even at work, you're a team. You are not trying to outdo each other. You are a team. Okay, so the reason why we are different and we don't want to be the same is so that I can fill in the gaps here. Okay, so together we come whole. Not everybody's trying to be on top of the other, and we still have gaps that other things can feel that's not healthy. Okay, so one of the things too is everybody's competing to feel like they have something of value. Just if you know it, that's why we also need to do the internal work where we feel so insecure that we have to prove to others, to ourselves, and to our spouses that we have something to say. We are something. We are something. You are somebody. Know that in your skin. Know that and be open to listening and affirming and validating and showing your spouse or your colleague or your whoever that you value their opinion. It goes a long way to make you an amazing person, especially if you're a woman and a man and you are married and you are validated. It's easier, once again, for your husband to come to you and open up. It's easier for your wife to come to you. So many husbands and wives have best friends outside. They'd rather be open to talk to that person because they know that this person hears them. And this is where, if we don't take care, emotional relationships, unhealthy emotional relationships, unhealthy to the marriage, begin to develop. I keep quiet here.
No, you're fine. Absolutely. You know what? I have I had an older couple, and they had been married for well over 50 years. And it was so interesting to go see them every time because they would talk over one another. And it was the husband would validate, he was just so unbothered by these interactions. And they were always simple conversations. I'm saying it's because you have to realize, for somebody, healthy looks different on different people. And so we would talk, and she would say, I talked to her, how you been feeling today? I've been feeling fine. And he'll say, well, last night, you had an issue with, your stomach was upset. Well, you didn't even give me a chance to get there. And she's, he's trying to help, and she's like, I don't need your help. And so she'll, yeah, my stomach was upset. Well, what did you eat last night? Well, he'll jump in. Well, we did go out to eat. Well, nobody asked you. He's just trying to help. Go take the dogs. Didn't I tell you that they have these dogs in here with company? Go take. He was like, well, they're not bothering anybody, and so they're just going back and forth. So we were talking about. She was talking about traveling. Great story. Traveling all over. They have the children. They're traveling, and I'm listening to this story, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I wish I would have taken my children to some of these places. I wish I would have done some, and I'm engaged in this conversation, and so she's talking about it, and he says, well, honey, what about when we went to, Disney World? That was the best vacation ever. The kids had a great time. The look on her face, she turned and looked at him. I could have died down there. You left me down there to die. What had happened was they had saved their money up to take the children down to Disney World. Now, I know between, 20, 30 years ago versus now to go to Disney World, totally different, but it's still always been pricey, right? So they saved up all this money to take their children to Disney World. It was a big deal. And her appendix busted. She wound up in the hospital down in Florida.
Wow.
Had to take her to the hospital. They had already paid for the tickets and everything. He was there with her, and he took the kids couldn't stay in the hospital the whole time. So he took the kids to Disney World, came back and visited with her, made sure she was okay. There was nothing that could be done. She was like, I don't know why you'd ever bring that up. That's the worst memory of my life. Da, 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 da. But he did the best that he could. And she was not letting that thing go even after 30 years. She was not letting that thing go. The worst day of my life. But not for the kids. I'm sure he was probably torn, but just watching them tell me stories, but they still worked together. It worked for them. She was, he just like, okay, that's just how Marge, that's what her name is, but it worked for them. But you could see how they would finish each other's sentences still, and she would do the same with him, and it's just like that's how they've grown accustomed to being. And that's to answer your question to the narcissism thing and the ego, you just kind of learn how to, like you said, just kind of dance with that thing, and find that healthy spot where, here she goes popping off again, but this is just her passion or whatever, and you learn to just kind of be in sync with that thing when it matters, when it's worth it, when healthy means you're not breaking down mentally, you're not breaking down spiritually, you're not harmed physically. You just need to learn how to shut up and listen sometime. You just need to learn how to be respectful. Those are little things that can be worked on. They don't have to be deal breakers for a lifelong commitment. You just need to learn how to speak up sometimes, and sometimes just write it down. Write it down. You're so frustrated and you just want to write it down. You don't have the words to say at the moment. Write it down and find some peace. That's what effective communication boils down to, is having peace in whatever you're dealing with. You always got to talk about stuff. You always got to talk things out. Even yourself, you got to talk to yourself sometimes and rationalize with yourself. But at the end of the day, it should be peace behind it. And that's how you make it healthy. That's how you make a relationship work. You go for the peace. And the peace, you always find peace in healthy, effective communication. I'm going to land there. King, I'm going to let you throw some words in. And I'm going to let Queen Edith take us. I'm so glad you're here with us today.
Yeah.
Me too.
I mean, likewise. I mean, yeah, that's powerful in itself too. That's very, very powerful. And in the spirit of, being the month of June for men's health, mental health month, excuse me, I can't talk this morning. That is very, very powerful. And I'm glad that you ladies brought this topic, because this information is important. Conversations like this should be had on a regular basis. And this should be flooded through, honestly, like conversations like this, topics like this on social media versus somebody doing some crazy TikTok dance or talking about some other stupidity. This right here is valuable information because we're talking about communication. And so I really don't have anything else. And this is amazing. This is great stuff.
Thank you, King. Thank you so much for being here with us. You all make sure you follow him on Facebook and YouTube. He's all over the place. So just look for him. There's only one. There is only one King Sean A. White. Find him. You'll find him. So check him out.
Can I say something too, real quick? I'm sorry, before I pass it over. Kings, if you're out there, you're tuned into the award-winning podcast of the Peak Wellness Hour with Professor Edith and Queen G. We are definitely looking for more men, more kings to come on and share your perspective. Shout out to the previous ones that had an opportunity to come on, but that's just so far in between. We need more. We need more men, more women to come on board, be guests, share your insights based upon the topics. One of the things that I had to learn, especially when I started out in this industry, as far as being a speaker and everything else, which I am, is I had to come to the realization that I am enough and I am worthy. What do you mean by that, John? What I mean is that you have a message, you have some skill sets and some talents, some experiences that neither one of us on this platform can hold a candle to. Right? You are an expert in your lane, in your zone of genius, and we want to hear from you. And so when you understand and take a chance on yourself and say, you know what? Yeah, I do have a story, right? I've been through some stuff that I was able to overcome, and I know I can help some folks. We want to hear from that. We definitely want to hear from that. Why? Because you are actually serving and helping the next person. And one of the things that I've learned as I continue to accept that, embrace that, you will be surprised. Look, we're here on social media, guys. I mean, between Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Alignable, StreamYard, X, Twitter, or whatever they call themselves, Threads, right? Believe me when I tell you, there is someone or a group of people that are experiencing and going through what you overcame. You mean to tell me by you stepping out and you're sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, right, on what you were, that what you experienced, what you overcame, you can't help at least one person? Is that what you're telling yourself by not being a part of shows like this, by not raising your hand and saying like, man, I would love to be on this show and just be able to articulate that, to be able to tell that. By you saying no, look at how many people that you are affecting, right? By you maybe listening to family members or friends or your colleagues telling you, man, nobody don't want to hear that, man. Girl, you lost your mind. They already know you ratchet and crazy. Yeah, I don't want to hear all that. I was like, bro, come on, man. Let's be for real, man. Like, seriously, I know you, right? We know you, but come on, man. Hey, don't do that to yourself. How many more times you gonna allow for that to happen, to allow for other people's opinions and ideas and notions to dictate your life, to tell you on what you can and cannot do? Once you get past that point of you, of self, and saying, you know what, I'm gonna come on platforms like this. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna grow. I'm gonna help at least one person from experience. One person will tell another person, will tell another person, will tell another person, will tell another person, will tell another person. The next thing you know, you have a tribe. When you having a tribe now, they give you that confidence to where now you can be on shows just like this, right? And then be able to venture out and do your own stuff. And so now you got a tribe of people and you start to get the experience and credibility. I can go on. But the point is, start today, start during the month of June, impact and help someone. Come on shows like this, talk about your zone of genius. Tell us about as far as what you have learned and grown, right? And share that. Because again, you never ever know who that one person that you can truly affect. They may not have to be here in the US, they can be in Australia, they can be in Japan, China, wherever. Just one person out of 8 billion people. If you can affect just one person out of 8 billion, then you're all right. That's all I got for you for now.
I love it. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What better than to have Shawnee White on talking about Men's Month and empowering other men? If you see the hashtags, you all check out SBN Small Business Network. I know he will be 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you
Yes,
go
man.
to his Facebook page, you will find him live every Saturday. Every Saturday. I have not done my due diligence getting on there like I need to. I will pop on there. Always great conversations. So throughout the day, I know it's Saturday. Like I said, it's summertime. I'm so excited. But
Mhm.
in between time, while you're sitting here, streaming through, nothingness, we've got great content here. Queen Edith's got great content. There's a whole bunch of options to pour into yourself. And
Absolutely.
to grow and to elevate. And thank you, King Sean, for that, because even with, for our men that we would love to connect with, it doesn't have to be a conversation on here about men's topics. We don't always about women's topics. We are here for collective growth, for holistic empowerment. And Shawnee White is here with that as well. He has amazing opportunities, bigger opportunities right now. Now, there's no comparison. I'm just telling you what he's doing, and he's out there doing the work, and he's putting skin in the game. He's, our little small little thing here. We're growing, so I'm just joking about that. But he's network after network. He has a whole streaming thing going on, him and his colleagues. So you are missing out if that's something you're looking to. What he just talked about, if that's something you're interested in, you definitely need to get with him. So many opportunities. You got television, you've got radio, you've got the podcasts, you've got all kinds of different things going on.
Mhm.
Him and the Small Business Network. So a host of amazing individuals over there. And I met some people that Shawnee White is connected with. I can't tell you where they come from, but all walks of life, they are amazing. I don't know if they're all Small Business Network, if they're Transformation Greatness. He has so many connections with greatness. That's why we get so excited having this king on our platform, because he's doing so many amazing things. And I met him on a social media platform. just his energy and his worth, so we love connecting with strong men and women that just
Right.
bring out that send off that energy, that aura, and you do it so naturally. And so we are so blessed to be a part of SBN, of Transformation Greatness, of you. We're so grateful for that. We're so grateful for your time.
I just want to say one more thing too.
Please.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Peak Wellness Hour conference will be happening soon. The summit, it will be happening soon. I know we've been talking about that for a while. Ladies, gentlemen, we would love for you to be a part of that. I mean, look, it's going to be absolutely amazing. Myself, along with Queen G, Professor Edith, I'm hoping that Miss Gloria Carter can be a part of that. Miss Kathy B be a part of that. I mean, it's just going to be some great stuff. And so that's going to be coming soon. I can't wait for
Yes.
that. I can't wait
Yes.
for that.
Been
Oh,
in
man.
the works. We've been talking about it. Do you have one for Transformation Greatness coming up? I know
You
you do.
know, you know what? I don't, but that's going to come down the works as well. But I'm just so excited. And that's definitely coming too, by the way. But the Peak Wellness Hour conference, the summit, it's going to be powerful. We're going to have some powerful topics. I mean, just some powerhouse speakers. And I just encourage you guys just to be a part of it. Look, we're at a time now with so much technology. You guys see everything that's going on in the world. I'm not going to regurgitate on what CNN and Fox and all these other stations be advertising, right? But I am telling you is this: if that doesn't wake you up and say, you know what, I need to get busy serving in my gifts and talents and serving people, then I don't know what will. I really don't know. Like, unless you need like a rock to literally come upside your head and wake you up, I really don't know on what will, seriously. So if you're listening to this, there's an opportunity for you. There is a space here. This is a no judgment free zone. This is the reason why I've been following these ladies for over a year or so, because they do fantastic, great work. But get in it, right? Add value to it, right? Be a part of something bigger than yourself. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. And trust me, legacy starts today, not tomorrow, not next week, not in 3 or 6 months, not a year from now. Today, get in contact with myself, Queen G, or Professor Edith today. Oh, and she's coming back on.
She's back. She's back. Oh, there's
That's
the
it.
beautiful professor.
There you go. She's in thinking mode.
This is ridiculous. I am so sorry. I am
Happened to me.
so sorry. I don't know what happened to the internet. I do not know, but these days.
That happened to me
But
earlier.
I'm here and I'm thankful that you all waited for me. Thank you, friends and family. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Well, Queen Shine was finishing us up talking about the upcoming summits, Peak Wellness Hour Summit. So yeah, that's got to be in the works. So he has promoted us, and we promoted him. We're so excited to network. So do
Peak
you want?
Wellness Summit. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
We've been putting it off, y'all. We've
It's
been putting
time
it
now.
off.
It's time now, Professor. Because just like I was saying, like I mean, it's going to be. I'm looking at, because you ladies know that I'm a visionary, so I'm just seeing like a panel of powerhouse speakers, and just we're just adding value and really just pouring into people, and people are really getting that and embracing that, and they're just inviting their whole communities, right? Their moms, their dads, their grandmas, their uncles, their cats, their dogs, they goldfish, they even getting value, right? So I mean, I just see it. I just see it, and it's just a matter of just now's the time, right, to really set that date in motion, get it out there, and just make it happen. Because you ladies were a part of my speaker expo last year in April, and I'll never forget that, because that was truly amazing. But now it's time for me to reciprocate that and be a part of what you ladies are doing and help spearhead that. So that's the way that it works.
Love it.
You
Love
see
it.
why we miss you. We miss you because you
That's what I told him.
because you push us, and Yes, you bring your vision into it, and I think that you are right. I totally agree with you. We need to push ourselves, have that confidence,
Absolutely.
and take this to the next level because yeah,
Absolutely.
it's time, Queen. So August, September.
I like I like
That's my,
September.
that's my birthday month. Let's go. That's my
See?
birthday month.
Yes,
That's my birthday
okay.
month. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I'm with it. It's June,
Okay.
July, August, September. I love it. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
we
I
have a
do too.
month in mind.
I do too. Okay.
We have September in month, and we
All
also
right.
have not been able to roll out our book club. It breaks my heart that we haven't done it. The book, our
Mm.
first book, is still there, and the fact that we haven't done it tells us that we ourselves are not taking the needed steps. Life continues to get busy, but we need to know how to plan even in our busyness, because there are
Mhm.
times when there are down times. Okay, we can do this,
Correct.
and we need to be intentional about finding and making the time to do it. So yes,
Perfect.
we should roll out this coming week. The next time you see me next week Saturday, if I come on, I'll be 59 years. This is my final week of being 58, the year of grace and the year of new beginning and all the amazing things. It's the year of birthing, grace and birthing. So I'm entering my 59 year, and I'm going to be intentional. I was telling Queen G that one of the things I'm being intentional about is my weight and my health. So I've been intentional about making sure I'm getting my exercises in. This morning I realized I've lost an extra 3 pounds, which is I'm almost down 13 pounds doing the work. So I feel good. The last time I was in Maryland when they were praying for me, I went on my knees and it was not a hassle. So that was awesome. I was able to be there and stay there. And getting close to 60 for a while, I couldn't kneel down. If I kneel down, girl, I had to crawl and
I think I
jump
picked up
back.
your 3 pounds. I think I picked up those 3 pounds you dropped off. I think I picked them up because I was walking this morning, boy. So
So
thanks for
yeah, just
sharing.
it's funny how we take little things. The fact that the how I went down in heels and came back in heels, not
Mm.
taking off my shoes to get my feet on the ground. It was for me, it meant a lot. And
Mhm.
my goal is for the next 1 year, I want to be my best, present myself as my very best. If I get into a relationship, if I don't, but I continue to work in my business and my ministry, I want to be my best for me.
Right.
So that's my goal and that's my intentionality. Communicating is huge. Okay.
Absolutely.
It's not about people talking, because in this era we are all talking. The question is, are we listening? What are
Mm.
we hearing? And what steps are we doing in intentionally listening and hearing what it is that we need to listen and hear to urge us on to our next level? Because many people are talking to, we need to hear everything everybody is saying.
Mhm.
If you're married, it's not only just about hearing or listening or talking, it's about hearing to grow together, being intentional about letting your spouse feel heard. For me, when I feel heard, I feel valued. When I know I'm being listened to, I feel valued and appreciated. It fulfills a part in me that nothing else will. I don't know about you, but the question is, listening also includes listening to self, being aware to self. What is your body telling you? What do you know your body is needed from you? All of it, listening is a major key to communication and being heard. So, yeah,
Um,
it's so you are both a valued component of the marriage and the relationship. If your spouse is not feeling heard, how do you communicate? to them that this is what I need. When you're talking and you don't want him to, or you don't want her to fix, I just need to talk. Please don't fix. And if you feel like what you are offloading is a bit too much, sometimes we know they don't have the capacity, then get someone who is trained to listen and to hear, who will help you regulate your emotions enough to come right, like
Yes.
okay. So we can build healthy relationships. The last time we talked about menopause, a lot of marriages fall on the rocks during menopause because we don't know, we don't understand, and we can't appreciate what we don't know. So listen to your body and learn to communicate. Listen to your spouse's body and learn to communicate. After you've been together so long, you are not magicians, but you do understand certain things about each other. Let's talk. Because even in the Bible, the only way confusion takes place and things break down and purposes are not fulfilled and needs are not met is when language is confused. It is a weapon to destroy relationships, break down businesses, and a lot of things. If we are not hearing, we are not understanding, we can't appreciate, we can't support. So in whatever field you are, whoever you need to communicate to communicate with in a way that understanding will take place, let's learn. Let's do it. It's the key to our growth, it's the key to our development, it's the key to moving forward. We appreciate you, we love you. And I ask all of you, take a minute every day this week, 1 minute every day. By the end of Saturday, it will be 7 days, and pray for Edith. I need your prayers. I need your prayers. We love you, appreciate you. This has been Peak Wellness Hour, and I am so excited. Queen, not that I'm not happy to see you, but I'm so excited to have the King join us today. And Queen, you know I love you.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you again, King. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You all make sure you go to the Facebook and YouTube channels and look at those posts. I think they were from last week, and put some positive comments in the comment section about strong men, fathers, father figures. Some of us are not fathers. Some of these men are not fathers, but they're father figures and they're prominent in the community. So if you know those men, make sure you salute them in the comment section. You can see it from last week on Facebook. It's in the post section on YouTube. So go and applaud some strong men that you know that are doing the work, whether in their families or in the communities. King Sean, we can't wait to see you back. We're so excited. It's just the little things in life. Go ahead, King.
I got a question. When will King be on? When will your husband be on?
Because I thought about it. I just
he gonna make me have to communicate and communicate and communicate to get him on. It's a lot of verbal communication to get him to agree, if you understand, respectfully.
Yeah, man.
I know. Man. So if you, I tell you what, if you see him on here, just know that I have done my due diligence as a wife, a good and faithful wife, to get him on here. And you know, it's not that he doesn't like it. He doesn't.
Queen.
It's the video time thing for him, you know. So
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I've seen him share our videos, and I really, really appreciate it. I've seen him sharing our videos, commenting on it. So, we will love
hear
your voice. I know you are married to Queen G, so you have a lot to say, right, kids?
He's very supportive.
Have a lot to say, especially in this.
I would love to hear from him.
He's very supportive. Yes, he is.
Yes.
I would love to hear from him.
I'm gonna get him on here. Maybe I can be able to do it next weekend. Like I said, it's our anniversary next week. Maybe I can go encourage him to join. He's not opposed to it. He just, again, it's the video. You know, he's not big on being on camera, even though he is a handsome, handsome man. I don't know why he does not want to be on video, but that's the thing. He's not opposed to it. But I will do my wifely due diligence and encourage him to participate, because he does have a lot of great insight. He does have a lot of great insight for everybody. So
tell him that Sean said, please, brother, just one time. That's all I ask. If you come on just one time, yeah, I'll be happy. I'm good.
Yes.
Just one.
He's very supportive. I've seen him comment, sharing videos. So
yeah, me too.
Really, really appreciate that. And before we go on, I want to encourage, please go onto our YouTube page, Peak Wellness Hour on YouTube, because Facebook takes down videos, but YouTube is at this time. So go like and comment on the YouTube page. It's just the Peak Wellness Hour on YouTube. Go join, go like, go comment, and we do really appreciate your support. Thank you.
Absolutely. And if you want to join, if you want to be a part of it, conversation, put a comment, inbox us, however you want to do it. It don't have to be a secret. You can put a comment in and say, want to join, how what are you going to say? I was going to say me too, but that's not what I was meant to say. But me please, I don't know. So just reach out to us, and we are here for that. Like I said, King Sean is here for it with SBN, with Transformation Greatness. So there's a whole lot of options here for growth. So yes, we thank you for tuning in. I'm trying to keep you, Sean. That's why I'm gonna stop talking, because I'm trying to keep you here with your wisdom. But I'm gonna let it go. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the men that support us on camera, behind the scenes, liking and sharing. Thank you to My King. Special thanks to My King. Thank you to all the women. Thank you to you all for supporting us. Let's support one another. It is so important. There's so much going on in the day and times, but it's all fluff. It's a bunch of emotions. Let's get logical, and let's think about the next move to go higher, to elevate, to empower, to support, and to grow self and one another. That's all we got. We're gonna get out of here. We thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week. Queen might be back. We'll see. I hope so. But until then, we wish you peace, love, and blessings. Check out Sean A. White today, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook. Until next time, we wish you all peace, love, and blessings.
Amen.
Amen. If I can get us out of here. Okay. We're out, y'all.